Welcome back, everyone, to CCL. This is week 5, and we're going to be watching a match with GMU and Fairfield University. I'm joined by Gret and Big Tilt on this cast today. What do you all feel about this match today?
It appears you're wielding Big Tilt like a sort of weapon. All right. Well, going into the CCL season, Fairfield does look like they're going pretty good. Both of these teams are doing pretty well this season. And from what I've seen between the seasons, Strages, the midfielder for Fairfield University, always a fresh eye or a fresh person to keep an eye on in this kind of scene, did actually win ISS last season with a certain caster we have on here.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see how he's gonna play in this midfield matchup because I would assume a high prio character and like between GMU is like Juno, but from the hovers, I'm not really seeing any Juno on my screen unless it was banned.
Nope, we see Mako and Octavia banned on this game. And we see the Asher, Amy, and the Juno. Okay. Well, Asher, Amy, and Juno are locked in for the side of Fairfield, and Atlas, X, and Estelle are locked in for the side of GMU.
Yeah, Fairfield opting for a much more kind of open space comp, even considering the Asher. Though it is mapped like Taiko Temple, so a more kind of melee goalie into X-Brawler, open space kind of coverage with Estelle here might work out for GMU very well, especially if they can find a lot of angles around Ida Phoenix here on the Strike Shot Juno.
And I'll point out the Awakening, so it's Glass Cannon, Spec, and a lot of speed is going to be on the side of Fairfield. And Spec trading was only taken by Wiggly Wobbly, so they're kind of going to be on the slow side, but it doesn't matter because they get both barriers.
Yeah, and just, I mean, we've seen it many times before. Specialized Training X can take over a game easily. We're already seeing the coverage with that ultimate punch there. Stunning Droplet 04, an open shot of the net there already. It's really looking threatening, especially as later drafts might come through.
Yeah, and what I'm looking for here from the side of Fairfield is to keep their barriers up a little bit longer. They went down very early that first point for them, and I think it was just kind of the downfall point. But playing pretty well here, keeping the core forward, not losing anything just yet. Kind of just like a little bit of a brawl in the middle of the map. Straight is already below half. Wiggly Wobbly not looking amazing either. So, maybe just depends on who gets the kill first.
There is the Atlas Res to keep Wiggly Wobbly alive and healed, though. It will kind of put a stop to that damage, as now the point is kind of decelerating here. Spartan does miss a strike shot and has to flip, but it's not looking too scary for them regardless. Even with that Rabies core flip, Wiggly Wobbly is set up for offense here on Ida Phoenix, forces out the flip. Rabies takes a strike where, but Strages wins it pretty crucially there. Almost finds a kill with a dash punch on Wiggly Wobbly there, too.
Yeah, both Strages and Drop. Leto just jumped. Wiggly Wobbly really wanted to kill them. These double barriers are following Drop pretty well. I'm trying to figure something out on this offense, but Wiggly, like with the good strikes, just keeping away from Strages and Drop trying to get this offense started.
Freak Leto is on the prowl, bro.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
The Atlas Reses are completely crucial for Wiggly Wobbly here. Keeping him alive and well for that kind of offensive opportunity, the ultimate strike reset off the barrier to bait out EDA Phoenix's Juno jump there. And again, he had two chances where he would have gotten knocked out, but Spartan with the Atlas Res twice in a row on the same life kept him alive and kicking.
Yeah, honestly, that was really unfortunate for the side of Fairfield getting double buried there at the end. And at that point, it got into overtime, so the core was going so fast, and X was just able to slot it in when he needed to. Really, just all you have to do on X is just put it in when you get the core.
He's a checkmate character.
Similar thing you could say with Asher with her, the ult, the fortress. You just try to set it up in the corner, put all your abilities down, and hope that you can at least take one. Because the thing is with Fairfield U, a lot of their star power is in Drop-Leto, and if he's not getting the ball, he really can't do anything. And really, it's up to EA Phoenix and Stratus to at least give him more chances to get the ball.
Yeah, but crucially, a dash punch is landed from Drop-Leto there, completely destroying the offense of GMU here. The ultimate is set up on Spartan here. Easy double barrier for them. It's basically a checkmate. Drop-Leto has a flip and is positioning very offensively, able to use it to guarantee that goal as soon as the ball gets to him in the right spot. However, GMU is doing a great job at keeping that situation from happening. The strike shot will save the open barrier shot.
Really scary here, but Spartan has used all of his abilities to keep it forward. Still not scored on just yet, but I know he doesn't have anything left. Especially now that primary is down. Marpoto uses the flip right in his face after it finally gets to him. He slots it in. 2-1 here in this first set for GMU.
Yeah, strong start from GMU, but Fairfield's kind of clapping back now. Their pace looked very good last point. So it's up to GMU to kind of answer that, and if they get it right once, they get to go to the next draft in this game for the side of Fairfield here. All three players on that team have flip. Forces out Spartan's primary to defend there, though Strages is running up with a turret here, doesn't even need to use the flip as Spartan is not having the resources or the positioning to defend that kind of offense.
Yeah, Spartan did unfortunately miss his secondary there, but also it's just hard to play that defense there when you're an analyst. Once your barriers are down, he's on the open net, like there's not much that you can do on that character. to prevent it from going, and you just have to hope.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah, that character's awful. Why would you ever?
What
But
does
back
he
into this
even
point,
do?
point 5 here. Oh, Ravens Uwu with the
wow.
crazy primary kill on Greed Leto.
Interrupting the commit downwards there.
Oh!
However, a dash into raw flip displacement, finding Ravies close to the edge. What goes around comes around as this turns from a 2v2 into a 3v2 for the side of Fairfield as they find the barrier on that offense and force out Spartan's flip. However, EDA Phoenix will get an unlucky strike shot off of the center drum. It's now an open net on both sides.
Okay. All barriers down. Drupalo almost dying again. Keeping it forward with Strages missing the glitch pop. EDA Phoenix not feeling too threatened here. They haven't really been able to set up the offense, but it doesn't matter because Rabies Uwu goes in with the Rose Warp. Scores.
Yeah, clean angle going barely into that side of the net there. Any closer to the wall and it would hit the bumper and not go into the net there. So very well played from the Rose Warp on Rabies there. And going into this draft, there's an Atlas first pick, but crucially there's a 2-3 for Fairfield here. Gino and Asher get the draft before anyone else. So after Atlas picks here, it's a very important pick. Gino will get the 1-2 punch and Asher will probably get a Size Awakening or a Journal Rush. Both are very key awakenings for Fairfield here. And Atlas, in comparison, doesn't really have much to pick up.
Yeah, despite winning the set, this looks a lot better to me for the side of Fairfield. I feel like that 2-3 really helped them get both the size and the 1-2 punch. Those are both very strong awakenings on those characters. Now that being said, I do think that what GMU got was not bad. Like the Spark of Leadership, obviously not doing too much yet, but the dash range on the Estelle and the quick strikes on X are definitely not weak awakenings.
We were seeing from Fairfield a bit of a damage win condition on Wiggly Wobbly, however it was getting interrupted by Spartan's Reses. But with these extra damage awakenings that Fairfield picked up, the BD 7% increase, the 1-2 punch Juno, and the Deadeye Amy, all three of those awakenings can contribute to that being just enough to push over that res threshold, as they're very, very crucially defending that kind of offense there. Oh, but again, the Taiko Drum claims another as EDA Phoenix redirects the slime into an unfortunate corner angle.
All mistakes sadly happening on the side of EDA Phoenix. They just lock in a bit more, get these strike shots on point, and just provide as much value for the team and stall for Drupaleto to either get a dash punch kill or the barriers. It could look a lot different for Fairfield University.
Yeah, crucially though, Wiggly Wobbly did spend the X ultimate in midfield there, and it didn't accomplish much, as Fairfield didn't play it the way he assumed they would. And because of that, they won't have any resources to score with for a while. Any breakaways, they kind of force Wiggly Wobbly to walk back and play defensively for quite a bit. And it is working, as they're not scoring any barriers here. However, GMU will not really have many offensive opportunities until that cooldown comes back.
Dropleto's looking pretty low here, forced to use the flip, and it's already staggered, but on the side of GMU, they're using a lot of abilities trying to kill him. They still haven't been able to do so. Yeah, it's kind of not making so that they can't get any barriers. And Strages and EDA Phoenix together, while they're distracted with Dropleto, get the barrier, and the Atlas Primary saves Asher, so she doesn't even die. And now she's unstaggered. It's looking really good for the side of Fairfield here with 2 flips on their side and an open net.
Oh, but Strages chooses not to flip there. It would have been a guaranteed goal. However, they might be able to get away with the greed here if they can score off this offense, but the turret and the Asher ult are both gone. They're significantly offensively weakened without those abilities. They need to find something here, and this offense is not enough if Rabies will be using Rose Warp to interrupt it like that.
Oh my gosh.
EDA Phoenix first used to flip.
Yeah, scary defense, but the flip from Strages in the top corner doesn't get anything done. 2 flips used for Fairfield, and a double barrier is probably going to come out. Oh, the bounces do not lead to that final barrier falling. And Strages trying to get the ball up to Drupaleto. Good dash, trying to stall the ball, make the play, and he slots into the top side. Drupaleto doing Drupaleto things and making it even 1-1.
Yeah, Drupaleto finding a crucial breakaway on a Spartan with no cooldowns. Baiting out the strike shot, by the way. Because he couldn't have that open shot, he had to dribble against the wall to bait out that strike shot from Spartan first. And it was the reason he was able to score that point. Those kinds of plays that he can make are the things that Spartan really needs to look out for, as if Drop can't find these kind of opportunities on breakaways, then the game looks really hard for Fairfield all of a sudden.
Ramus Uwu already staggered, has the flip though, has not used it just yet, probably looking to get this barrier with it, but I don't know if the score's going to get back to them in time. Strage is keeping up the offense, getting the second barrier with the help of Dropletto, and now they're looking to score here. Spartan about to have a flip though. They really want to score this as soon as possible.
That's right, and the flip on the barrier here, however, it's beaten away by the Asher primary. Less resources to score with, but Bellringer is going to do it on the barrier as layered strikes are not enough to get it done here. Spartan does have the flip on this defense, however, Amy Turret and Asher ult will come out. It will get buffered by the single hit of that Amy Turret there, and Spartan is low energy, low cooldowns. However, the ball is not on his side, and as long as it's not, then he's completely fine.
X wastes the special, but Rabies gets a crucial kill onto Strages. EDA Phoenix with a ton of course speed though. This is really scary for I think for both sides because it could just very easily slot in because of how fast EDA Phoenix is hitting the core right now, and he's doing a great job on the defense. Wiggly Wobbly has the flip though, so if he gets back, but he wastes it.
Oh, and the Asher
there's no way that ended.
He meant to do that. And really that point was, I think, defined by EDA Phoenix being able to save a few crucial interactions, as GMU did have a couple very threatening offenses, but because he was able to get it out there, the play was still able to keep going for a situation like that to even happen in the first place.
EDA Phoenix forced to burn the flip. Wiggly Wobbly looking scared with the X Maximus, but the primary from their spell from Rabies gets the final barrier. With the offense for Fairfield is looking really dangerous here. In the corner offense, the barrier beam does not get the barrier. Like, yes, Droplet has a flip though, and he's trying to look for it, and he probably will just use it to take the final barrier, no greeting, hopefully, and maybe able to get something done. Oh my gosh.
Good defense on that flip there. Finding outwards clears, however, Rabies gets another chance. However, EDA Phoenix holds the strike, but tries to strike to redirect the Juno slime, but it doesn't quite reach as Rabies wins the strike war, and because of that, EDA Phoenix's strike is on cooldown. A strong offense from Rabies as Wiggly Wobbly was just covering space there. It was almost a 1v2.
Yeah, great. Well played from Rabies, keeping that offense up that whole time. But now into this 0.5 here, another 0.5. GMU already down one barrier. Fairfield not looking to lose another 0.5 here.
Yeah, and one thing I'm noticing is Wiggly Wobbly's ultimates are not really being used to score this game. I haven't seen it used many times for that. I'm seeing it used a lot more for looking for kills, and Strages and Dropletto have both been very careful about that to where it hasn't actually been succeeding on them. And as a result, the offense is for... Oh, but a Rose Warp into primary off the drum almost gets traded back by Dropletto. A single shot Spartan is able to save it, and this point is looking very scary as overtime is about to kick in after this power play ends. If they can defend this, the 1-2 punch of Juno might look a lot more threatening.
Well, Stratus is already back up. Does drop the turret though on defense, not able to do much there, but they do get it out for the time being, looking to get the offense here, but Wiggly Wobbly is preventing Dropletto from really doing anything with that special. Rabies keeping it forward as well, but not feeling too threatened on the offense, but it doesn't matter because it red cores as soon as Wiggly Wobbly hits it with the second barrier, and they get that second barrier, open barrier for both sides here, looking really scary, but Dropletto with the dash punch. Oh, and the diamond emo. Toxic. Get him out.
Well played from Dropletto, finding the most of a fleeting moment as it was looking very scary into a full cooldowns of Stell on a committing midfield. It would have been a very hard interaction for any goalie to win if that ball did go through, so Drop perfectly covering that, finding the set win for them, and Strages on this first pick will be locking in the Timeless Creator, and these turrets that he's been placing down have been actually giving quite a bit of value. So with the Timeless and even the Deadeye chipping away, that might actually be quite the powerful pickup. And Dropletto will get a second Size Awakening, crucially, very important for this Asher character, and he's been building into it. It's going to be looking very strong. Peak performance on Estelle is probably the best pickup for GMU, as the extra movement and also shutting down a bit of the damage win con for Fairfield will probably work out quite well for them.
I will say, this X build is looking a bit disturbing. Super Surge, Quick Strike, Spec Training. As long as they just use their ults for the barrier and hit people as well, they get for a 2-for-1 deal. They're doing so much damage and they're putting so much pressure on the barriers, and it'll probably eventually just fall because, I mean, X in your face against the Juno is pretty favorable for the X.
Yeah, but that is, again, all in execution though, right? Wiggly Wobbly has been spending these X ults in midfield almost entirely. So for that to actually work out, he'll have to change his playstyle a bit. Dropletto finds a very crucial back punch, taking the second barrier too with Strages, and this open net is looking very scary for both of them, and Spartan is not quite able to catch that low shot from Dropletto. A crucial strike war win from Strages for the pass, and a crucial shot for Dropletto to score the point.
Yeah, great offense between Strages and Dropletto to keep that forward that whole time. And then also a great shot at the end by Dropletto, slotting it at the very bottom, keeping it away from Atlas. Raby has a flip here though. Don't think GMU is really too scared at the moment. Getting that first barrier, one barrier down from both sides. Dre just drops the flip on drops the turret on defense and also has a flip. Maybe looking to get that second barrier here, but Spartan is doing just fine on defense for the moment.
2 flips here for the side of Fairfield. Trey just uses his and Rabies uses hers, and now it's a bit of a trade here. An open space is taken, and Estelle is the character able to capitalize off of that with that dash range. However, a single secondary into flip from Dropletto is able to take that kill. And now it's a 3v2 here. Wiggly Wobbly is not positioned well on defense, however he is given the time to walk back, but it's not enough as Dropletto is back in this corner, forces out the flip, and Spartan is not able to beat the Asher primary.
And the double size putting in work, and Dropletto is just all over the field. The size on Asher is really putting these corner offenses, like every single interaction, he's just winning now. It just makes it easier because Asher just takes up the whole entire space in the corner. And she just gets. Oh my!
What an angle off the drum!
Crazy shot.
Guaranteeing it too by hit stunning Rabies on the way. That was well played.
We're now moving into this third point here. Energy wise, I feel like it's pretty even here. No one really is even close to having a flip at the moment. I mean, Straight dropped Litto 2/3 of the way there, but not really too much happening there. Straight just drops the turret on offense, gets that first barrier, but they're not really able to convert for the second yet. Spartan looking just fine. Straight just uses the flip, but Spartan wins the strike war there, not losing the second barrier just yet. Drop Leto though, stuffing it through with the special and the flip to get that last barrier. On this set point here, and it's already open barrier for GMU, this is looking pretty scary.
That kind of offense is exactly what Fairfield is drafting for. The Amy turret, the Asher ultimate, that's exactly what they need to score on a character like Atlas consistently. And if they're able to get in those situations consistently, they're always going to be able to find it. And that kind of checkmate is exactly what GMU has been trying to avoid all game, but it's getting a bit overwhelming with the playstyles and the character drafts of Fairfield here.
Yeah, I will say that double-size Asher just makes it really hard for Atlas to play the game, although he does have the flip here, so maybe he's not too scared, but the Asher special makes it so he's forced to use it.
Oh, no, but the demon angle from Wiggly Wobbly mixing up EDA Phoenix, who's looking a bit more for the bumper riding along the wall there, will score the goal for GMU. And they're not out of the game at all, it's especially even score-wise. And the dash range Estelle, if anything, is going to keep this game in check, as it's giving them the autonomy to work with. A crucial piercing shot from Rabies too, hitting all three and taking that second barrier.
Yeah, Rabies playing really well at this point, getting both the barriers. And now Wiggly Wobbly's about to have the flip here on the open net. This is looking really scary for the side of Fairfield, but they do get that first barrier. Try keeping that offense up. Wiggly Wobbly does have the flip on though, and Rabies doing a great job keeping it forward with the help of Spartan. Wiggly Wobbly does miss that flip though.
Yeah, now they don't have. Go on.
Yeah, Wiggly Wobbly's playing a bit too fast. I think they're a bit uncomfortable in this X character, or X, just Brawler in general, because aren't they a midfielder, from what I remember? I think.
Yes, they were.
So maybe they're just not familiar with the Brawler interaction, so they just need to just tighten up a bit and honestly, I think they should just stand. They should just
Big Toe, pipe down. There's a sizer wave getting on the board.
Chill. Oh, yeah. Why are you getting strays? Why am I getting flamed on the cast?
I'm seeing a certain powerful awakening for Dropletto here. The Might of the Colossus is a great pickup to cap off a triple size build. That's a lot of power for Asher, especially with the extra you're adding on with Glass Cannon. It will trade off bulk up for Rabies, who does have that peak performance already, which is also a bit of an Exodia. However, that does mean that Strages gets another crucial awakening, that is the extra special working with the Timeless Creator on Aimee. That's an incredible build for this character, infamously so, as it looks like almost everyone in this game is having an insane draft.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would be really scared just because of the offense was already so strong from the side of Fairfield, and now they have an Asher with Might of the Colossus and more size, which give for the power and the size, and then Strages also has X special with that Timeless Creator turret. It just feels like it's going to be really difficult for them to play these interactions.
Yeah, notably Rabies, when not getting hit and having that full Glass Cannon power, does have 170 power and the explosive entrance with the impact modifier. And that's very scary for as we're seeing the extra power work in the takeoff droplet off the map, as this X-Ult with the quick strikes is able to guarantee that second barrier almost at checkmate. And this defense is looking incredibly scary for Fairfield. Wiggly Wobbly finds the kill with the Bellringer onto EDA Phoenix, and Straighters has a flip to work with.
Yeah, it does drop the turret.
I will say that I think since the triple size is good for the offensive Asher, but it does allow GMU to hit Dropletto. Oh no.
Missing a redirect on the slime, a classic Juno.
Yeah. Since Asher has triple size and Wiggly Wobbly and Rabies have a lot of damage on the board, they could honestly just sit, like try to damage the Asher and play for the power play and maybe get more like interactions and value from that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Rabies has really been doing in a lot of these points. They've just been kind of firing abilities in the general direction of Dropletto, and because he's so big, he can't really avoid them, or he just sucks because he's a brawler, and he just keeps dying, and Rabies is really just doing a great job of keeping up that damage. But now in this point, they already got both the barriers for the side of Fairfield, and they're trying to get the score here. Atlas misses the secondary. It's looking pretty rough here for the side of GMU.
It's certainly the damage win con is an avenue that's definitely opened up for GMU on Dropletto with that pickup on the bulk up for Rabies. However, we're seeing what happens if you play for that and you don't find that damage in the knockouts. You don't have the cooldowns to control the map with to prevent that kind of checkmate from happening.
Yeah. I am looking at Straighters who has no energy. Maybe they can try to damage Straighters with Straighters even Dropletto. He's like really low with the flip. Maybe they could try to finish off the kill, but I mean, who would be the kill confirmer on GMU? Estelle with like 2 abilities.
Yeah.
And X known kill confirmer that is not true. X sucks. Don't I've tried to kill confirm with X so many times and I'm a donkey, so don't do that. Don't be me.
Well, you know who's not a donkey? Rabies Uwu, who got that second barrier and now has the flip, but Dropletto uses the flip to get that first barrier. Spartan not really scared though, winning these strike interactions and still has the flip to work with. Rabies Uwu going in with the flip and the piercing shot and scores. EDA Phoenix stunned and not able to use the flip.
Yeah, Rabies definitely looking like the star of GMU right now, finding a lot of very scary 1v2 offenses or 1v1 offenses on EDA Phoenix on the back line of Fairfield. And Estelle being able to make these plays solo is very scary for a team to deal with because it means you can't shut down their brawler and get away with it so easily. Because if just their midfielder alone is enough to score, then the game gets a lot harder.
Yeah, I mean, and we saw it there. I mean, Wiggly Wobbly and Rabies working together to get both the barriers. However, Strage is going in with the flip. Ooh. Nice weight, just barely times out Spartan's flip. And now we're going into a point 5 here. Match point for Fairfield University.
Yeah, thankfully Strage is able to score that goal despite his teammate being Dropletto, sending it to a point 5.
A lot of toxicity coming out from the brawler of Fairfield University. I don't know. I think he's having a bad day. This is. I wouldn't say it's unlike him to be diamond emoting people for no reason, but maybe he's just feeling like this today.
You know, if you're getting damaged all game, maybe it's self-defense. You know.
Rabies
finding a solo play on the barrier, finding a dribble into the primary, getting right around EDA Phoenix, scoring that crucial 5th goal of the set, taking it with the MVP here. Let's see what the draft has in store. As there are, notably, there is one more spark in this draft for an Atlas who's been sneaking by with a spark of leadership and agility. So you don't want that focus going over to him. A hot shot on Estelle, and there's a lot of awakenings here for the rest of the draft, a lot of high power awakenings. Heavy impact is taken for Amy, who wants that extra damage, and Primetime on Juno is very powerful on this pick. And Atlas will get that spark of focus as a result of that Primetime being locked in, and how Asher is left with just a meager twin drive. It's nothing insane, but the draft has played very well for GMU, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the hotshot is really what I'm looking at here, because she's already been doing such a great job on the offense, getting these barriers, and now it's just going to go even faster. It's going to be harder to react to, harder to deal with on the defense for EDA Phoenix and Strages.
Yeah, and that extra size awakening for X, by the way, I've noticed, has been putting in a lot of work. Getting that extra hitbox on the ultimate with that specialized in quick strikes is very, very crucial and effective. as this game is looking really good for the pace of GMU right now. That draft really working out for them, especially with the way they played last set. It looks like they have the adaptations necessary to start winning the game.
Nobody felt like saying anything, but it doesn't matter because the second barrier goes down. Now open net for both sides here. Straight and Dropletto close getting their flip, but Spartan has his use the secondary. Uses the flip as well. Dropletto forcing it out with his secondary, but he now has the flip, so if it gets back to him, it's looking really scary. But Wiggly Wobbly almost scores it. Ooh, with the dash, with the judo slime catching it. Oh gosh, it's so scary for both sides here.
Yeah, but Dropletto finds a great breakaway from Strages. A great dribble from Strages, by the way. Off of that bumper, not quite going for a shot, but putting it in a spot where your brawler can guarantee that goal. Fairfield making a very scary defense, pulling it off, able to find that point eventually.
That's my ISS midfielder getting it done. But now the offense for GMU is looking really scary with the flip and good evade. Both players play that really well. Good evade and good for Dropletto for recognizing that, oh, I need to kill this guy.
Yeah, and notably though, the strike shot and the primary from Estelle on the Strages, they're realizing this health bar and they're attacking on damage as a result. The X ult is coming through, however, Wiggly Wobbly opts to take that second barrier. Nothing you can really blame anyone for, as he does eventually find that goal with the Super Surge and the Bell Ringer dash range. Playing right around EDA Phoenix is scoring that goal.
Yeah, and the 1v1s, it's just hard because X is so much bigger. He has the quick strikes, and when he has a special up, he just has all of these sorts of things, and it makes Juno's life really hard in the 1v1, so X is kind of just able to get it done. Wiggly Wobbly playing very well in those 1v1s, I'm noticing in this fifth set.
Yeah, the whole game really is a lot of checkmates and a lot of situations, because a lot of time the goalie has a checkmate happen to them and they think, like, what could I have done there? And the answer is just you can't be in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
And this whole game is both teams playing to not be in that exact situation, because the X with the special, the Asher with the ultimate, the 2v1s are very, very scary to deal with on both goalies, even though one is a melee goalie. It doesn't really change much, as Atlas is more of a preemptive pick with that primary.
Okay, Dropletto's looking pretty scary here with the flip, but Rabies gets it done with the stealth primary, just securing the checkmate. And leading it on match point, 2-1. And Spartan has the flip, so they're probably just it's gonna be a challenge to take this final barriers for Fairfield. And if they, honestly, they could just kit dump Dropletto and try to force a play out of him because he's the scariest person on the field. But Dropletto's gonna get the flip. No, he's not. Gets stunned, not buffered, by I'm yapping, but it's okay. I'm locking in.
Oh,
we get
good
the
shot!
flip, we get the
but he's
shot.
already almost dead and he has no energy! What is he to do? Wiggly Wobbly on the prowl, but he has no abilities at the moment, trying to get that orb here, but Spartan uses the strike shot, trying to get it, not able to get him off the center, tackle from either. Strange is doing it all though! He doesn't care! They're wasting so many abilities on Dropletto, and he's dying even like he did anything, bro. It was all your midfielder.
Strange is finding a perfect opportunity to punish the commitment to trying to KO Dropletto there with that extra special timeless Amy turret with the flip to cap it off. Very well played as he got in the perfect situation to pull it off. This is the final point of the game no matter who wins it. An Estelle KO on two Strages from Rabies there. That could be exactly what this needs. GMU in a power play looking to close it out. However, the defense is very strong from Dropletto and EDA Phoenix in the midfield here, not even letting the ball get in the dangerous situation in the first place. However, it's here now. EDA Phoenix forced to use that flip or else the second barrier will be taken.
Oh gosh. Okay, one barrier down for both sides. We're almost getting it there, but the turret from Strages does catch it. EDA Phoenix looking fine on the defense right now, but if it gets back into that 1v1 Wiggly Wobbly, it's looking really scary here. Strages almost dead here too. Staggered now. Does use the evade, not dead to the X secondary just yet. Now Dropletto has the core on the other side. Oh! But it doesn't hit the Asher special. And also, EDA Phoenix with the strike shot, keeping it out of Wiggly Wobbly's hand, so neither barrier is down yet, but Spartan now has the flip, and Rabies Uwu as well. It's going to be really hard for Fairfield to get this barrier.
They do have two flips to work through. They work through both of them as they take that second. They not take the second barrier, actually. GMU barely gets it through, even despite that flip from Dropletto, that extremely checkmated offense. They're still able to clear it out. And now no one in the lobby has much energy to work with at all, as it was looking so bountiful before. This point could go on a lot longer.
Oh, what a strike word from Spartan. Holding the strike against the Ashes secondary, and it's looking really dangerous for Fairfield University. The ball gets out. trying to find a dash kill. But the double creations, this might be the checkmate that Fairfield University needs. The Strike Boys won. Why drop Leto? But it's a 2v1 with Estelle. Oh no, the 2v1, the possession was lost, and Rabies Uwu will secure set 5.5 win for GMU.
Yeah, that Rose Warp from Rabies caught the Red Core from Juno just barely and was able to keep that offense up, which was what I think actually won them the game there.
Many ways that point could have gone, honestly. Everything was happening at every moment. It was very, very hectic, but a very crucial Estelle X 2v1 made possible by that explosive entrance pickup from Rabies.
The redirects.
It was a long game.
Yeah, it really went as long as it could have. Really, both teams scored 12 goals, so very even. And after seeing that, pretty excited to go into the second game. We're moving to a map.
It should be Atlas Lab.
Yeah, that's the map.
Indeed. And we've seen some damage pressure from both teams, even despite their drafts not really leaning into it that heavily. And on the Atlas Lab, we'll see if that kind of game style will come even more true with the black hole to facilitate it. Because damage is not exactly the most threatening thing in the game right now, but it still has its moments, especially with the Right Awakening start. So we'll see if either team chooses to lean more heavily into it and how that will kind of play out for the game.
Yeah, I would agree. Since we're moving to Atlas Lab, I personally would not want to see Spartan on like an Atlas. In my opinion, I would rather see him on a character that has a little bit more forward pressure, more damage. Could be really anything, just not Atlas. But if that's what he's comfortable on, and he feels that that's what they need to do to defend against Drop Leto and Strage's offense, it got him their first win, and so he could definitely do it again.
Spartan does have quite a bit of experience on the Vice and the IME eject picks. So if they do lock one of those characters in, then it will kind of shift their power budget a little more in favor of their offensive and a little less in favor of their defensive, which might be exactly what they need on a Twin Drive Timeless start. The Twin Drive is a notably infamously good pick for eject button users because it gives you more of that uptime on your most important ability.
You know who else is a notable Twin Drive user? Atlas. Oh yeah. Welcome back, Atlas.
He's probably gonna pick it. If he did so well the first game, especially on a Twin Drive start, you look pretty comfortable, especially on that last set 5.5. You really locked it in there, and so I probably assume he would just pick another melee goalie. I don't see him going to an eject personally.
Yeah, and EDA Phoenix's pool might have him on Twin Drive Juno again, but that doesn't mean that if they want to select it, they might have to lock it in a little early, as the Juno pick is a little contested because of GMU. Rabies does have a Juno, so if they pick that, it might be a strong deny from EDA Phoenix, who might be forced onto a character he's less comfortable on, right? Fairfield opting for an Estelle ban, as they don't want Twin Drive Estelle to get a dash range again like that, because that Estelle pick is really good at running lobbies, especially in much more open space map like Atlas Lab. It could really scale very scarily, and GMU opting for the X ban instead, making sure Drop Leto does not get his signature character.
Yeah, I think banning the Estelle was probably the best option there. He was really running away with the last game, although I will say, though, I don't know, maybe I'm a little outdated on this, but I know they were a very big Vice player in the past, so that's now open for them on Atlas Lab, a more damage-oriented map. That could be pretty scary, especially when she has the Twin Drive.
Drop Leto locked in the Amy Brawler, by the way. I want to make that clear. This is not a midfield pick. I'm aware of it. I can smell it. So GMU might not actually know that in this draft. It might be assuming it's an Amy midfield pick, or a goalie deny even for a flex. And it means that this 2-3 that they have can be quite punishing, especially if they opt for a Vice goalie or a Vice midfield. Rabies is capable of playing it and Spartan is capable of playing it. They can flex that pick where they want, so it means that a Brawler is coming in, which is Erasmus for that open space pressure.
Erasmus goalie, I can smell.
I don't know.
CCL special is locking in Rasmus Brawler, so maybe that is just what that is. We do see a Finny. I actually really like that pick here from the side of Fairfield University with that. She can go for the Twin Drive or the Timeless, but I would probably like to see her on the Twin Drive if we're going into that damage. great at keeping the core forward, great at keeping the damage up, especially with an Amy. Let's see what this last pick is here. I feel like we're gonna actually see a brawler. I don't think it's the Dreamy. It'd be a little.
It's not the Dreamy, it's the Drini. That's what he locked in just now on this.
Oh, actually, it's the Juliet, bro.
It's the Juliet. You can't call it that. It's not that bad. Julie is a very good pick here. It will force Spartan to opt for a certain kind of goalie, one that will be a lot more prone to defending a character like Juliet, which is kind of hard to come across in this day and age. He might opt for a Twin Drive Dubu, very powerful character, maybe a Twin Drive Atlas.
Nah,
and he
but
will
the
go
Atlas.
a Twin Drive Atlas, which is a pretty hard pick for Juliet to deal with, as you'd have to get around that primary first before you can start running your whole dash punch threatening game.
I'm upset with them for picking Atlas.
Really?
But also, like, what does he pick here at this point? Like, all the other characters are gone. I think that he plays.
You could pick Mako.
Well, you can just select the vice goalie and then pick a
We ain't picking
midfielder.
Mako big too. We ain't picking.
She's not that bad in the goalie position, right?
No, she's definitely
Mako's
not.
good.
But like,
No, but
I would rather have an Atlas than a Mako here.
ultimately, this game might actually come down to the kill pressure from Dropletto here, with the Finny and Amy backline dealing a lot of damage, and Dropletto with the dash punch for knockback kills, or the ultimate for kill confirm on a staggered target. A lot of this game might actually just come down to whether or not Spartan is able to lend some crucial reses, because if he doesn't lend them, Fairfield University might end up with a certain kind of draft that just KOs them on loop and finds infinite power plays and eventually gets the ball in as a result.
Yeah, I would agree. As someone who's quite familiar with the Droplet of Juliet, he was playing it quite well yesterday, getting a lot of kills. So if he keeps that sort of gameplay up that I saw yesterday, it's looking pretty scary for the fight of GMU. I won't lie, but although they do have the Atlas, and I think that is probably their biggest asset in terms of like if Spartan can just react to the Julie's dash punches, then I think that makes Dropletto's life a lot harder.
One thing that's also a little crucial, I think, is that Wiggly Wobbly is much more of a midfield player, as we know, and we've seen him in that last game. It kind of looked like it too, the way he was playing in the closer half of the map on the X pick. A character much more suited to that kind of style is the Rasmus. He might be on a much more comfortable character this game, so we'll probably have to keep an eye on him and see if he pops off as a result.
But like, how do you feel about the Vice Rasmus forward duo? Because I personally don't think that's very strong.
It's definitely just comfort at this point. The Vice is just comfort, and then Rasmus is just the X was banned. I assume Rasmus would be the next pick as for Wiggly Wobbly. Like on paper, Vice Rasmus doesn't seem that good, but like it's honestly I've seen some disturbing things that Rabies has done on Vice, and Wiggly Wobbly's a solid enough player to understand primary from Rasmus and like hook and all that. So it's probably cohesive enough for GMU to lock it in as a forward duo.
No Vice to sell.
That's facts.
Land, knowers know. But going into this game, though, again, it's crucially a Twin Drive start. Finny on Twin Drive is an incredibly good pick. Atlas on Twin Drive is a good pick, too. We might be seeing a lot of midfield coverage fights here, as Atlas will be spending his cooldowns to make sure it doesn't get to him in the first place. Finny will be spending her cooldowns in a similar way, but in a much more open kind of range. I think both teams will really just be having their fights happen in the middle area of the map.
And the match just got ended. No. What happened? Oh.
Oh
wow.
No.
Rabies on the banned Vice skin. Has to leave the lobby and switch that out real quick. Rabies already back in the lobby. Just a small hiccup. Should be heading back into this game shortly. Okay, we're back in queue, loading back into the game. Like you mentioned, I mean, I feel like we've talked about this draft so many times at this point. We just got to see them play it. Never know what's going to happen in the CCL games.
It's true. CCL is not played on paper, so we'll have to see how it plays out. in motion here. The Amy pick was looking good for Strage's last game, actually. He was finding good setups on turret, he was finding good possession plays. So we'll see if that lends itself over to this game as well.
Anyone got a prediction for how many dash punch kills Droplo's gonna get?
7.
0!
Low-key, not that many. I'm going to say 7.
Only 7. Just a
I'll pick 6.
Damn, you hate this guy. You think he's so bad at getting dash punch kills? 6?
Yeah.
Not 7? Okay.
Totally not for another reason, but
You're ignoring the fact that I said 0.
That's a book move.
Yeah, that was expected. Wiggly Wobbly actually arguing both barriers here with the Warps Ravizu, EA Phoenix, and Straight both looking a little bit worse for wear here. Do get the first barrier as we get the Sad Boys thing around the first barrier. That's not a double. Straight setting up the turret, but they do get it out with Wiggly Wobbly strike. Straight is also really low here. Ravizu doing a great job putting up that damage and keeping it forward. Wiggly Wobbly stacking that damage once again, not giving Straight any room to breathe in this first point.
The barrier situation that happened from GMU is something we might be seeing a lot, as Wiggly Wobbly looked very comfortable running offense on a goalie like Finny. We might be seeing both barriers for Fairfield fall quite frequently, because the offense is very scary against a character like Rasmus as Finny if you don't have many resources to defend with or the right positioning. So it's going to be a very scary game for Fairfield. They need to make the most of their chances, as they currently do, with that Amy turret setting up a lot of damage too for Wiggly Wobbly. However, the Alice Res will come out, and just barely he'll find the Rasmus primary to get it off that top angle.
Yeah, great first point from the side of GMU. Really didn't have any trouble there getting those first 2 barriers, and I think that might just be because of the comfort on the Rasmus here. I think Wiggly Wobbly's looking a lot more comfortable than he was in the X last game. Does have that secondary backwards though, bit of an unfortunate mistake. Only losing 1 barrier though, and sometimes having 1 barrier is better than having 2 on Atlas Lab. But they actually have 0 now because Straight uses the glitch pop to get that second one. Spartan does have the flip though, so not too scared. Rosie getting both barriers all by herself too.
Yeah, looking like Estelle on this Vice pick, still having that 1v1 presence, and that's something you really don't want to lose if you're GMU, because having this, it's taken away so many barriers, it's claimed so many points. So if GMU can keep that going, it's really, really in their favor.
Another whiff dash punch from Dropletto hasn't found really much anything to do. The only time they took the barrier is when Atlas had no strike shot, and they had an Amy turret behind them, and Atlas primary whiffed. So it's gonna take basically a miracle for Fairfield University to get any offense situated when Atlas has cooldowns. Unless like that.
Stunning dash punch.
They get the flip in, the Atlas secondary does not cover the space, and the bottom side is slotted in for 1 point for Fairfield University.
Yeah, Dropletto eating the Atlas secondary by dash punching himself into it, both stunning Spartan and EDA Phoenix biting back with a double barrier of his own, finding it right on Spartan there. However, primary into ultimate, that's the Vice solo queue classic. As soon as you get that, you're in a power play without much resources spent, and as a result, you're able to push it just like that.
Great pass from Wiggly Wobbly, trying to bait out that strike shot and doesn't and makes it so that they can just slot it in on the bottom with help of Ravizu. Great passing play from them too. Now up 2-1 here for the side of GMU, and they did get a kill as well that round. So I think it's looking pretty good for them here. They got the flip on Ravizu as well. Already 1 barrier down. It's pretty scary here. Got the Alice Res 2 to keep Ravizu up, and uses the flip to get the kill onto Straighters. But the Amy turret from the grave plus the Dropletto flip punch.
That's right, the kill was found, but the turret was dropped, and that's all Straighters really needed to do for that offense. As a result, the 2v1 was still active even after his own death. Really, really getting it done with that timeless turret. Dropletto playing back into it, finding the ultimate and the flip to close the point out there. Very effective, and now there's not much energy to go around for the side of GMU. They might need a little while in this point to have any flips to score. But another double barrier comes out as the ball has been going back behind this barrier so frequently. Double barriers have been happening so constantly, and Dropletto with an incredibly smooth like butter dash right through Wiggly Wobbly with a strike for the top side of the net. Very clean way to end out that last point.
Straight just getting the MVP though. Seeing what's on the board here. See the missile prop, see the stinger, see the adrenaline rush. Just some different things here for the Amy. She does seem to opt for the stinger here. trying to keep that damage up, but Vice, on the other hand, maybe looking for something, the adrenaline rush. So both sides kind of playing into this damage side of things. Dropletto does get the size, though, and so does Rasmus, because every size awakening is here. So...
Yeah, I would do the same as Strages on that Stinger pickup. However, notably, again, there are 3 size awakenings in this draft, so Might of the Colossus isn't looking as appealing as it normally would, and it's very unfortunate for Dropletto, who might have wanted to go for a Might of the Colossus kind of dash punch build. Doesn't find it very off that. However, one thing I want to talk about is that he opted for Demolitionist instead of Built Different, by the way. I think it might be because of the way he's double barriering so frequently, but I'm pretty sure the 7% impact on Built Different is just so effective that I think it's what he should have gone instead.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that statement, but going into the second set here, 1 barrier down for both sides. Wiggly Wobbly looking pretty low too, but does get the orb. Can't convert that kill just yet, but Dropletto, Strage is looking for the offense here, but great hook from Wiggly Wobbly, getting that second barrier. Rabizu was setting up the secondary as well. If this score can get back up, it's looking scary for the side of Fairfield University.
Oh, but Strages loses his dash, is able to save it out with a glitch pop, but now he has no cooldowns to work with, or health, or energy, and Rabies will not hold that ultimate to kill Strages, actually. He will live to see another day. However, she does have that flip to work with, positioning offensively. Very scary, and they're working in a 2v1 here. A hook will come out, baiting out the strike shot from EDA Phoenix. Well played from Wiggly Wobbly.
Yeah, Wiggly Wobbly's looking really much more comfortable on his Rasmus pick than the X. I see them walking up even more. They're hooking, trying to make hook plays. They're baiting out the strike shots. They're just putting primaries down to threaten like the kill range of Rasmus with the like that. They primary just to put some damage on, and it's really looking impressive. But the double barrier coming out from Dropletto using the dash punch to try to get the goal. Sure is keeping the ball, trying to give another opportunity for Dropletto to get the dash punch. Maybe something getting started, but the striker from Rabies solidifies the offense starting for GMU.
Rabies are looking pretty low.
Strages there, I want to point out, actually. He layered his strikes very well to avoid anything dangerous happening. And the Finialt will set up a good midfield interaction here. Rabies is sent low from that Stinger glitch pop here, and Dropletto will be able to confirm that kill. Strages with an instant flip. Spartan is not quite able to get the read on that.
Yeah, there's just a lot of damage being traded from both sides here, and I think when you get into these longer points, it's favored for Fairfield University at the moment because they have that Stinger on the Amy, which is really helping, and plus a Finny missile prop, and actually did not go for the twin drive, went for the timeless, but regardless, like Finny is just doing a great job keying up that damage. Dropletto finding the dash punch kill onto Rasmus, and Strage is with the cyber swipe getting a double barrier as well. This is looking really scary, but the secondary from Spartan does keep the dash punch away from getting that goal.
Yeah, GMU playing for a very slow reverse power play there, making sure nothing can really happen for GMU here, even though they did find that kill. And I would agree, though, GMU's draft is a lot more favored for their consistent damage output with that Stinger Amy and the Finny pickup. Atlas is not quite as able to contribute to that kind of game plan. And on the other hand, Dropletto is, as he barely doesn't find that kill, even though there was the Atlas rest to back it up. And we're just seeing the power of Juliet there, though. That could happen at any moment, as long as Dropletto's in the right spot for it.
He's very good at that, recognizing that, recognizes just the tendencies of how to play Juliet. You just threaten the space, and they're forced to make a decision before you, and you just literally, the ball's walking towards the side of the goalie, I'm gonna dash punch. They have no evade, I can dash punch. They have no abilities, I can dash punch. I mean, dash punch literally just does it. He does everything you want as a brawler. Oh! This not
Straight just flip there?
I don't think he has the recognition for that, even if I would say, oh, we gotta do it. I low-key would have told him to do that, but Dropletto's not aware. But they're both not. Oh my god, watch out Wiggly Wobbly. They're getting jumped on site.
Doesn't matter though, Atlas uses the special to keep him alive. Oh, great! Strike. Was that the strike shot? Like, just winning the strike? I don't know what it was, but he did save it. It didn't really matter. Rabizu was not able to get the goal there with the secondary, and it has no evade, and looking really low here from the Finny. It's looking pretty scary. Dropletto keeps with the damage with the punch, and is on the prowl for this kill.
Oh, but a crucial glitch pop forces out the flip from Spartan. They're looking very good to score here, as Spartan does not have any cooldowns, however, oh, but the, he goes right into EDA Phoenix, but he does not choose the right clear angle, and as a result, they do not have any way to clear that goal, and it will go right in. Notably, though, in the rest of the set, the energies are looking a lot better for Fairfield, so this point might be a little stronger for them if they can find something crucial. However, the classic primary into ultimate. Dropletter will find a dash punch to trade it back. Spartan is low HP in the black hole. Has to use his ultimate to res himself.
Well, almost grieved by emoting and not helping his teammate on the defense. He was too busy gloating in his success.
Nah, but my Juliet, man. Where...
I don't think that one
He's
was
on the other side of the stage.
No, it was not Juliet.
Maybe,
Great, well played from Wiggly Wobbly, getting it in a 2v1 while Ravies was dead, getting that second barrier, just setting them up for success. And now Ravies getting the MVP here, seeing some things here that they can want. Get the prime time, get the explosive entrance. Does opt for the explosive entrance here, getting that dash range and the impact damage. Dropleto does get the bulk up though, which is huge for these dash punch kills. And Alice, he has a couple things he could work with, but I would say the prime time is probably the best here just to keep this defense up on these barriers. Strages looking for the unstoppable here, actually. Not what I was expecting him to take, but not really sure what else he would. Finny does get a glass cannon, which is really strong, and Castelas, not the best, but not the worst for the Rasmus.
It could have been time. Mon, you timeless Amy. Go! Put down the turret.
Yeah, I'm surprised he actually didn't take Manu. It would seem like it's right there in front of him.
Probably just to not let the Rasmus have the unstop, and it's like good.
Has extra special been out of the pool? I don't think so.
No, it's still in, it's still in.
Yeah,
they would have, someone would have it if it was showed up.
The easiest win condition, just triple turret awakenings. Just play for that.
GMU playing triple defense here on the barrier. I was able to save it though. They were stacking up some good damage on them though with the Finny and Dropleto, but now looking pretty scary for the side of them. Ravizu down half health, but almost getting that goal. It's really scary. Basically, all three members of Fairfield are also playing defense. There's very looking defense oriented at this point.
Yeah, the prowess from this Atlas pick is very good for making sure that nothing especially scary can happen, and eventually they will find a corner kind of offense setting up, collapse is the word, setting up onto EDA Phoenix there with that dash range Vice, dash range twin drive Vice at that. Very, very effective at putting coverage over the map, exerting yourself as a pick. And again, that will always be a threat, and it will keep happening until the forwards of Fairfield University, specifically Strages, will be able to adapt to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the second time he's died to that Vice combo. Third? I mean, I'm sorry, but this guy's a noob, bro. He doesn't have someone in his ear saying, watch out. Okay, I will say, when I play with him, I'm the one that says, watch out for these certain kill combos, because maybe he hasn't played, he's not familiar with, like, Vice shenanigans.
Oh my gosh! He died with Flip, and now Dropleto looking for the goal here. He sucks. Oh, he doesn't suck, actually. Okay, getting the second kill on the Ravens Uwu. Dropleto, bit of a brawler masterclass. Really outstanding performance from just a CCL player.
I would like to point out, though, that play was low-key all Strages because he popped up the glitch pop to follow up off of the Juliet special, and that was the one that actually closed out the kill. It wouldn't have been enough otherwise, so it was a great double offense from coordination from Fairfield University there. Again, the damage is really showing itself here as Rabies is already staggered again. The Atlas ult, I think, is available right now, so the kill confirm isn't looking especially convincing. There it is. But now that it's gone, Fairfield has a lot more avenues opening up for them with that ultimate into Flip from Dropleto, baiting out the Atlas secondary so he doesn't die to it as he would have if he committed the offense.
Dropleto, they're really low here. I had to go back to get that orb, so they're not able to get either of these barriers just yet. Straight just trying to get the first one, does get it, and then gets the angle around the barrier, but does not get that single yet. Spartan uses the flip though, so he doesn't have that, and he's about to die to Dropleto. Doesn't get it, but he is staggered, and they get that second barrier, looking really scary for the side of GMU.
The issue is the kill is not easy to confirm for Fairfield, as Dropleto does not have his ultimate, so Spartan is able to recover from stagger quite easily. The Rasmus is able to walk up on EDA Phoenix, who is not able to defend it, and that is going to be enough as EDA Phoenix misses a strike shot, and because of that he does not have the strike for the barely missed angle to be saved by him.
These points are so back and forth, it's stressing me out.
Yeah, you could say these two teams are evenly matched.
I want to point out on that last interaction with Wiggly Wobbly and EDA. EDA Phoenix kind of like hesitated a bit. He let the ball walk towards him with the Rasmus secondary. I think in that situation you want to be the one to act first because you might catch them off guard. And obviously you have a Rasmus with the secondary just walking down in your face. It's going to be pretty hard to save.
Raven's Moo here been really low this whole point and dies off of the black hole. But Dropleto not looking too good here, but everyone's kind of just standing around doing nothing. What is happening?
It's risky to commit to running up to Spartan there, so they have to wait for him to make a play or for a cooldown to come through, and as a result they're not able to get any offense done. The defense will be fine, though. Oh, but EDA Phoenix takes the riskiest outplay I've ever seen in my life, and as a result gets punished by Ready Zulu. The turret is set here for Strages, but it's not enough as the Atlas secondary is defending it. The ultimate will come through, however. Wiggly Wobbly is delayed just enough by the Juliet ultimate to die regardless.
And you're missing that primary here. Now Raby's, pretty low though. The Stinger keeping them low. Strager's probably going to look for that kill here. God, almost gets the goal there. In this overtime, the core is just going red core all the time. It's very scary for the side of Fairfield, who has the open barrier. Drop low does manage to get that barrier though. Great shot from him, but he wastes the flip. Great evade from Wiggly Wobbly, and nobody's hitting the core. And it's really scary here. All three members of Fairfield are on the defense here. Straight just uses the flip in the middle of Narnia, and then just nothing happens.
Yeah, the flip was kind of the end of that offense. A little damage was tacked on to Wiggly Wobbly, who does not have an evade to work with. However, it's almost impossible to actually keep it up as they spent all their cooldowns doing it. An incredible glitch pop pass to Dropletter, who uses the speed to convert into an open shot on the net, though. Very well played from Strages, who's able to keep that strike shot in check. And this is now 0.5, a completely even game.
Okay, I'm gonna make prediction. We're gonna die to Vice Primary ult, and Fairfield U's gonna release the set somehow.
Uh-oh.
Why are you preying on these people's downfall, man? You're so mean.
Okay, Mr. #1 drop lower hater.
Wait, can we ban this Big Toe guy from the cast?
No, I'm speaking facts.
I'm down. Big Toe.
Thank you. Now we got the turret down here. Not able to get this second barrier though. Spartan does use the flip though. Keep it. Ravy's looking low, but does have the Atlas special and already back to full health. Almost the flavor, but Wiggly Wobbly is low. Drop Leto. Looking for that kill here. Uses the dash point, gets him staggered, but Wiggly Wobbly doesn't get it. Oh gosh, the second barrier goes down. This could be it for the favorite. And good kill confirmed with Strategi's dash off of Drop Leto's special. Now it's a 3v2, but Ravy's does have the flip here, but it is an open net for the side of GMU. Uses the flip, kind of in Narnia. Midfielders, we love them to do this. Not able to get much going on. Drop Little gets the kill off the dash from Stu, and Strategy is about to have the flip. EDA Phoenix has the flip. It's looking pretty scary. GMU.
That's right, there's two flips to work with here. Drop Little finds almost another kill. But Strategy doesn't commit the flip's the only way to confirm that kill there. He does have the flip on this offense here. It's looking scary with that turret. Barely gets out of the window. However, Rabies takes a lot of damage on that Stinger and is now hit by the black hole. A lot of damage coming in. Both forwards can't be healed by the same Atlas ultimate as they're too far apart from each other. And Droplet passes back down for an offense to get set up. Stranger does not quite find it.
Don't look at the goalie's health!
Yeah, Phoenix is so endangered by this, doesn't quite find it from Strages here. The glitch pop sends it back to himself. Droplet finds a chance to score, but it's really just a chance to waste Spartan's flip is all it is. As he does, but the flip goes right back into his hands. The Atlas primary is here. EDA Phoenix really needs to make the most out of his flip. He barely finds it. What is happening?
I'm so scared. I mean, Dropletto might just die here. Doesn't get the dash punch. Atlas second defensive once again. Dropletto almost dead here. Tries to go for the goal. Can't do it just yet. But we're still in this point here. Dropletto does eventually get the strike. Good pass from Stratus into Dropletto. Goes for the shot. Spartan not able to get that strike off. And now 2-1 in terms of sets for Fairfield University. Straight is getting that MVP, maybe looking for some more damage here. We do see the extra special, which I think is what they're probably going to opt for, especially considering that the Atlas is on the other side and they really don't want him having that.
Absolutely, considering that timeless pickup, especially, making sure that Atlas does not have that res to work with, it really closes off their win con. If EDA Phoenix take that Stagger Swagger, for instance, opting for the Deadeye instead, it might be Dropletto going Stagger Swagger. But as a result, Wiggly Wobbly does get that Stagger Swagger as a result. It's very, very bad for Fairfield that GMU gets Stagger Swagger pickup because they're keeping these forwards at low HP so often, so frequently, that it was, honestly, in my opinion, a necessary pickup from EDA Phoenix just to make sure that one of GMU's forwards does not get the chance for that 36% movement speed awakening.
Now going in here, Straight just uses that turret, trying to get that second barrier, not able to do so just yet. Dropletto looking for that kill with dash moves, hasn't used it just yet, but yep, going for it on Rabies, not able to get it. EA Phoenix looking low though, trying to go for the pass from Wiggly Wobbly to Rabies secondary, but not able to get it just yet.
Yeah, and some scary offense coming in. Spartan isn't quite able to defend the card from EDA Phoenix. But, oh, he panics and does not find the ultimate. As a result of that, he's not able to get the strike on its own. And honestly, EDA Phoenix is finding a lot of crucial offenses to make up for these lost defenses, so it's not completely lost. A lot of his cards have been putting out a lot of damage pressure, and he's been finding quite a number of double barriers on the Spartan here.
is muted. No. Okay.
Oh,
EDH
they saw
Phoenix.
him.
I
Crucial
had
last punch from
these.
Jumbo beats out the flip. Strike shot beats the Rasmus hook. Well played from EDA Phoenix, actually. And this offense is looking like it's about to set up for Fairfield here. Spartan does not find it in the black holes. Dropletto walks in to interrupt it here. Finds it in this corner, and the offense has begun.
Ooh, good draw from Dropletto using the Fire Flurry to catch that flip from Spartan. Now nothing left to work with. Open barrier on both sides. Dropletto also cutting that pass from Rabies to Wiggly Wobbly, trying to cut off that offense, but it doesn't matter. Still gets back to Rabies, but the EA Phoenix with the crucial strike to get it. Uses the flip in the middle of Narnia. Doesn't get the goal, but the Finny special is EDA Phoenix the LeBron James of Finny players? Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he might just be. Finds the most clean Finny ultimate through the black hole, through the Vice ult I've ever seen, right to the bottom side of the net. Well played to take that second point. And it's an even set here. This offense is looking incredible for Fairfield, though. Despite nothing actually getting done for the barriers, the damage is terrifying for GMU to deal with.
On the corner offense, you just put all your abilities in the corner, and eventually they're going to be weighed down. If you just keep possession, you can honestly just keep it there, put a lot of pressure, put a lot of damage, and eventually you just fall.
Rabies staggered on this offense. It gets the evade there to save herself from Dropletto. EDA Phoenix uses the flip but does not find the right angle as it's red and loses the second barrier as a result. Dropletto is not confirmed by the Rasmus hook. This is a very scary situation for Spartan here. Oh, EDA Phoenix wins a crucial strike where but does not quite find the secondary he needs to capitalize off of it.
Yeah, that point was kind of just damage fiesta. Like, 3 people were staggered at one point in time, and it was kind of just like it happened to get back to Ravies. EDA Phoenix was staggered, really scared of that Vice, and just wasn't able to catch it. Now Ravies going in for the offense here, gets that first barrier immediately, going for the second here, but Dropletto on defense here, with him trying to... the primary of Doom, and the second primary of Doom off the Adren Rush, getting the second barrier. Dropletto though, finding the dash punch onto Rasmus, trying to equalize this point here, gets the first barrier as well. Really good job keeping that core control and converting it into offense, but Spartan uses the secondary, keeps away from Dropletto, still has the flip and the second barrier, so, and this is kind of what Atlas wants, like he's not too scared here, but Stray just setting up that extra special turret, gets the flip from Spartan, and Dropletto dropping a ton of damage on both Rabies and Spartan, even with the help of the Atlas secondary. They're not looking too good here.
Dropletto winning a very important strike war versus that Atlas primary, not something many brawlers are documented to be able to do. The damage is kind of slowed down here for Fairfield, which is not what they want on this side of the point. But an unlucky Finny secondary, bouncing off of the Soren angle on accident, playing into the Vice secondary, able to capitalize off of it with that explosive entrance dash range. Something that's been showing itself very frequently in this game. And in this game, yeah,
there it
indeed.
is. But 1-2 punch for the Juliet, so that kind of sucks, actually.
Don't you take 2 performance on Juliet instead of 1-2?
It could be either.
It's a hard pickup, really. Peak performance and 1-2, both incredible. I think I would save the peak for my midfielder.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
However, again, we're seeing Spartan sneak by with 3 sparks in leadership as he's done in this draft again. The big fish pickup for Rasmus and quick strikes on Finny is not actually going to accomplish anything at all this game.
I was just say, I think I'd rather have Finny take the size, unironically, just so Rasmus can have.
Yeah, absolutely, no questions asked. The size on Wiggly Wobbly is going to look pretty scary this game, as the Vice ult with that core speed, the hot shot, is going to take that double barrier.
EDA Phoenix, though, putting the damage on Rabies Uwu, and Dropletto looking for the kill here on Wiggly Wobbly, not able to get a G-step, but Rabies Uwu is already staggered. Oh, but the core speed is just so high. Great play from Wiggly Wobbly there. Capitalizing off of the kind of the chaos happening on Fairfield's side, trying to get that kill and just getting the goal.
Yeah, the game is looking like it's falling apart for Fairfield here. They don't really have the game plan to get this kind of game done, as they're tacking on damage on Rabies, but they're not really able to hold the back line while they're doing so. They're not able to make these points go long, as again, the layered strikes did not come through, and otherwise unlosable interaction if you play it properly. That's the kind of situation you can't be in if you're playing damage, and EDA Phoenix finds the wrong clear angle as Wiggly Wobbly is able to cover that and shoot for the bottom side of the net.
I feel like for me, what I'm just noticing is that these barriers are just going down way too fast. Can't really handle the core speed. Fairfield struggling a little bit to keep their barriers here, which is not really the situation they want to be in instantly in the open net scenario. It just makes it really hard to play the game.
I will say Swine's really doing a great job just doing Atlas things, just keeping keeping his barriers as long as possible and just making the life of Dropletto pretty hard. Because even if Dropletto is trying to outplay Strike Shot primary, it doesn't matter when you just don't take the barriers. When you try to do too much at the oh my gosh, the hook! Unfortunate reversal for GMU, and it might be the thing that Fairfield needs to bring us back.
Good
EA
defense.
Phoenix playing well in
from EA Phoenix there. And a very scary situation here coming in for GMU. Wiggly Wobbly sent to 1 HP with no evade. However, Strages will send the flip, but the Twin Drive Atlas will defend it away. And GMU will find a counter KO as a result. There's no cooldowns to confirm the kill on either of these two players for Fairfield here. But a dash punch in the black hole doesn't quite find if he walked in and kept committing to it. It would have forced out the flip at least. And again, if you commit to this damage, it's looking like a 1v1 setup, and a 1v1 is exactly what you can't be letting yourself lose in that kind of situation. Rabies is staggered, but it's so risky to go for a kill on her. Sent to the orb, sent to the Atlas ultimate, and she's now back to full HP.
Straightest though, trying to keep up the offense with that glitch pop, and they won't do so just yet, but they haven't really had many opportunities to get through them, because all three members of GMU are playing defense right now. But because of that, they're also not really able to serve an offense on EDA Phoenix, and this is kind of what Finny wants. Finny just keeps setting up that offense. It's making it hard for them to play the game. All three of them have to play on the defense here, so there's really just no threat to the side of Fairfield University. And they EDA Phoenix with the stray, missile pop primary kill, and into the Amy turret. Braves not able to get the strike off. First point for GMU for Fairfield in this set. 1-2 here. Potential start of a comeback here in this fifth set, and maybe allowing us to go to a game 3.
Wait, EDA Phoenix is scoring so many points right now with that missile prop card, playing off the Amy turret, getting a kill on Spartan. These kinds of miracles, you only need 2 more, but the random Vice ult with that insane power is enough to close it out there. The missile prop again! I think that he has some flip to work with on this defense, going to use it immediately, and it will get batted away. However, yeah, no, they're not able to layer the strikes though. That defense did collapse quite quickly. As a result, the game is looking very, very hard for them to win. Dropletto is able to interrupt the Rasmus primary, though this flip from Rabies is looking like a nail in the coffin for them if they can't play around it effectively.
Yeah, Rabies has the flip here. It's just so scary. EDA Phoenix almost dead too if they could, but Rabies forced to burn the flip almost dead here, but the Atlas second comes out. EDA Phoenix is staggered in the back though, so if it gets back to Rabies or Wiggly Wobbly, it's looking pretty hard for them to play defense here. Dropletto going for the dash punch, not able to get it just yet, but Straightness and him are doing a great job at keeping up this offense together, really not letting GMU get it to the other side of the field.
Wiggly Wobbly getting away with that stagger here, but a crucial dash punch is gone for Dropletto here. They'll have to get through Spartan's flip first, but it's not unreasonable in this kind of game.
Flip!
Spartan uses the flip. Oh gosh, Wiggly Wobbly is staggered though. Straightest has him up too. Oh gosh, it's so scary. The core is just so fast in this overtime. Everybody has so much core speed.
Oh no!
Does stall out the Vice special with the flip, and it just goes back to Wiggly Wobbly.
Hold the feet from Strage as he stands on the core. As it's flipped and after, the ball will go in and will get punished by Wiggly Wobbly. Very, very close at times. Even though it was looking bad in that last set, there were several moments in which Fairfield could have brought it back all of a sudden. An incredibly close series, honestly. 2 games were played, but both of them went, like, almost the max amount of points you can go.
Yeah, 13 goals for the side of GMU and a solid 9 from Fairfield. So very close game. The damage. Rabies almost. Rabies got 7 kills. She was the only person to get kills. Rasmus cannot kill confirm. You heard it here. But 62,000 damage. Well, that was week 5, everybody, of CCL. What a fire series. These are more interesting than NASA, let's be real. And yeah, that's all we got.
Great gameplay from both. What?
His writing is this fire? Well played, everyone. It was a heater.
It was.
Bye.